All right, so we have a gimbal. See, look at this. Isn't it amazing? I'm I'm still nerding out. This gimbal is a super steal. So I called the local camera shop and they were like, "Yeah, it's $500." And then I went to Amazon and there was a lightning deal on for $330. And I was like, "When does it expire?" And I was like, 30 minutes from now. Yes, I bought the gimbal, and it's sick. Fairly intuitive to use. I'm just having a whirl with it. Uh, I haven't even had coffee yet. I'm in the studio on a Monday. I'm in the studio. You probably see me working on the little cubby thing that holds like the Dyson and all of its attachments and stuff. And now I'm gonna be working on some stuff for me. And it's not too frequent that I get to do such a thing. But now that the apartment's sort of winding down, which will unwind down when we get the kitchen in the coming weeks, I'm gonna work on some stuff from here. So part of my great shame is that like we set up we set up the studio, we finished like the majority of functional stuff. I painted it, looks nice. I did what I could for cable management, but now we're kind of at this really awkward point. Like there's some pretty major unfinished projects. So the ceiling, let's see if I can. The ceiling is definitely one. You can see that there, and but those are actually not the major ones that I want to get to. The ceiling, I want to make sure it goes through one more winter with absolutely no condensation. It made it through the last one and it had some pretty harsh times. So, but the one that has been kind of building in need, I'd say, as the number of camera oriented things that I've picked up over time has increased, is the shelving that you can see usually to the right. So I'm going to show you, and try not to judge me. That's the shelving situation, okay? It's not great. What I'm gonna start to do is move stuff off of it over here. All right, what's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, and today was a weird day. Something that very rarely happened. I woke up at like 5 a.m. Got like 5 hours of sleep. And I'm running off a nap. Never happens. I never get up early. It's always a struggle, but alas, here we are. Um, yeah, so I got a lot done today. I filmed a type test that was pretty sick. I think that YouTube video is going to come out probably before the weekend. We'll see. I think it's gonna be a pretty good comparison between like there's a super cool switch that came out from this company, and it's on their keyboard, and I think that it'll actually do quite well. We'll see. And what else have I got done? I was talking to Morn, the guy who makes my music, and oh yeah, so we're working on shelves. Okay, so this is where we're at. Okay, I'm gonna show you, and it's coming along. First, I'll show you the disaster here. Disaster zone. I'll probably end up building the shelves. I'd imagine probably not tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe like the weekend. Yeah, so I gotta cut the shelves, then I gotta make them actually fit in the space, and then I gotta stain them with a stain varnish because I'm too lazy to do stain then varnish, and hopefully yeah, that'll be about all we need to do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the room not being a complete and utter disaster. It currently is an absolute mess, and I'll keep working on this. You guys can see a little bit of that and keep going. Alright, so I'm working on my boy Misery's keyboard. Okay, last night. You see this little shit right here? See him? Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? Yeah. I put him here, so I had to take everything apart. And then I put him here. But that's wrong too. Okay? He actually goes here. You hear me? He goes here. So now it's early in the morning. And instead of doing anything else productive, I'm fixing this because my room is a disaster. Alright. Slightly less sleepy now. And I'm done. So I did one type test. Oh. Buttery smooth. What are you laughing at? So you may notice this is actually going to be like the first practice session this week, I think. I've worked out twice, but I haven't done any practice. There's been a lot of crap going on. Obviously, my studio is still a mess. I haven't managed to do anything, and this week has been rough for some random reason. I had like that one day where I woke up randomly at 5 in the morning, and it threw everything off. Like I played the worst StarCraft this week. I've just like been playing catch up pretty much with my brain. Yeah, I don't know, man. But back to the grind on this, and hopefully I play good enough today to offset all of my losses. That's my goal. I think I went like 9 and 19 yesterday. I had like 33% win rate. It's something. It's something. What's up? Okay, Saturday, I've been editing. Let's see if we can get a cheeky shot here. Look over here. Oh, go gimbal. Editing, watching some ESL. Triple tap. Yeet. I haven't had a chance to work on the shelves very much. We didn't have any brackets, but brackets. So I'll be putting up some brackets today and then probably cutting the shelves to match. What I'm going to do from there is stain and then varnish. Yeah. So we're going to work on that. We'll take some footage and throw it in the vlog. Good luck. Alright, forgive the tad of shaky cam. So everything's good. I need to cut one more of these. I'm probably not gonna take the camera on everywhere to do that. It's gonna cut a third, put it down here, make sure it all fits. I gotta cut out notches for the actual brackets here, so that it sits as close to the wall as it can. Obviously, I could probably get away with it, but you want it to look good. You want it to be like pretty flush. And then the big thing that we gotta do is you gotta cut out like slots for the sound panels that are there as well, so this sits flush. Part of me wants to use the same stain that we used on that wall so that it matches, but there's so many colors of wood in here already. Like, I'm really tempted to just leave the pine as it is, sand it down and varnish it so that it comes out like the table. Okay, I'm actually quite excited. Just finished dinner, but this is November 1st, and for exactly 1 year, I think from maybe even today, but I think it's probably within a week or two of this range, I haven't been to a gym. Like, I literally haven't stepped foot inside a gym for a year. I took that time off to finish the apartment, and then I took the rest of November off, or like the rest of October off, to kind of recover. And I've been getting kind of stir crazy. I've really missed working out and stuff, but I do feel like I needed the break. And the reason I'm like adding this to the vlog is because I don't think I'll be able to stream in here today. Our shelves, which I've shown you a bunch of, which are behind me, are still off-gassing from the varnish I put on them. It's not that strong, but I was in here for like 3-4 hours earlier, and I got like a pretty wicked headache. It happens, and you don't really notice because it doesn't smell that much, but over time. So I think that today, in that way, probably a write-off. And I'll probably come in, clean up a little bit more, and then finish all that process tomorrow. Maybe watch some ESL and stream at night. You know, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to lifting, and that means gym footage, which is sick. I'm looking forward to bringing a tripod, and because I think when I go, it'll just be like me. There's not that many people that go to this particular gym, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I'll see you then. The mess has taken me. All right. So it's actually Wednesday, the 4th. I got delayed due to the off-gassing from the shelves, and obviously I had to still stream, and I didn't get a lot of time to edit. And the editing was actually much faster than normal. I'd say maybe 3-4 hours. I'm gonna be able to get it down to. So we're definitely making progress in that way. The reason that I'm editing this vlog at 4:18 and not streaming is because the elections in the States were yesterday, and I'm dodging the shit out of Twitch chat. Yeah, I'm like Neo in the Matrix right now. Sorry, I'm gonna keep the summary short for last week. Last week sucked. It was not good. The stats, two of the stats are higher than normal, and one of the stats is much lower. Unspent resources is 552, which I think is a decrease from last week. I'm not 100% sure, but that's pretty good. It's not too bad. My supply block time was 48 seconds, and that's kind of like that's a loaded stat. My MMR average is 4913, and I'm now like 4800 MMR. So I've dropped about 300 MMR. There was like 2 days where I got all in, like almost every, like probably 85% of my games. And what that usually means is that I'm a distracted boy and not paying attention, because all-ins are build orders that you generally win against if you know they're coming. And if you're distracted and stuff's on your mind or whatever, or you're just sleep deprived, you tend to really get demolished by these all-ins, because even though you've played a bunch of them and you know all the signs, you're not looking for the specific signs. You're just trying to autopilot and play your game, and you generally die. So, I also didn't practice much last week. In reference to the gym, so the gym was a humbling experience. My lifts are pretty. My form hasn't gotten too bad, but like squatting 150 for five, like 5x5, is pretty paltry. It's not very good. I have a 3-phase plan for the next, like, let's say 7 months. So the first 2.5 months are going to be strength training. I'm going to run 5x5, and then I'm going to do volume for 2 months, and then I'm going to cut. Make sure that I'm finally consuming the right amount of protein and stuff. Get my diet on track. I just have a much better understanding now of why I was plateauing at weights that I really should have been able to break. Like, for example, I never managed to get past like 275 for 5 on squat. Like, that, even when I was like 220 pounds. Like, I should have been able to break that. I felt like some days I could have too. And my understanding now is that I was just grinding that weight. I wasn't actually ever taking a week to just do a lower weight. And then go back at it. And B, I was consuming nowhere near enough protein for recovery. Like, not even close. My goal is to break my lifts, my all-time best lifts, which were 275 for 5 on squat, 350 for 5 on deadlift, and on bench I've never broken 225. So that's going to be the real marker on whether or not we're making proper progress. I suppose the lesson from this last week was that, like, really, like, if I want to become a better player, I need to make sure that I really mitigate the distractions, because as soon as things start to get in the way, it can completely undo any progress that you've made. In your, any progress becomes a peak instead of an average, and that's what I got to try and fix, and I'm working on it. But yeah, I mean, that's always the thing. Like, if I can't balance being a content creator against being a player, then I'll never be able to progress. And we'll see if I can do something about that. Good luck, guys. I'm gonna show you guys around next week.